Hi Taylor, here's the first question that you sent. So I've just got us started a little bit here, and the first thing that you have to think about is for the sine of x minus pi, what that looks like for a sine. Sine is positive in the quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, so up in the two top quadrants there, and it's negative down in the bottom. So if you start in one quadrant, and then you subtract pi, which is 180 degrees, it brings you over two quadrants. And so wherever you start, subtracting 180 from your angle is always going to change your sign. So it's going to take sine of 30 and change it into negative sine of 30, no matter what happens. If you start with negative sine of 30, it'll change it into positive. And so what that does to our equation is it lets us simplify this a little bit. So we got y equals minus sine of x times the cosine of 2x. So that's where we're going to start in terms of taking our derivative. Now, first derivative, I know it asks for a second, but first derivative, derivative of sine is cos, so derivative of negative sine is negative cos. And we're going to use the product rule here. Sorry, my stylus is not cooperating. And so we just multiply, in the first step, we just multiply that by the cosine. Oh, my stylus won't work. Hang on. Let's try this one. So, oh, that's better. There we go. So that's the first part, and then we're going to, for the product rule, we're going to take the derivative of the second term, which is going to be 2 times the sine of 2x, and then we're going to multiply that by minus, oh, that should be negative 2. Because the derivative of cosine is negative sine, and then we're going to multiply that by negative sine x, okay? So let's clean that up and see what we've got. We've got negative cos x, cos 2x, and then that's going to be plus 2 sine x, sine 2x. Doesn't matter what order you write them in. So now we're ready for our second derivative. And so we just need a lot of space for this one, but we're going to take it one step at a time. We've got two different terms here, and both of them are going to require product rule. So if we just look at the first term, then we take the derivative of minus cos x, which is going to be sine x, and we multiply by cos of 2x, plus the derivative of cos of 2x, which is minus 2 sine 2x, okay, and that 2 in front is coming from the chain rule part of this derivative. So 2x has a derivative of 2, and that's where I'm getting that 2 from. And then I'm going to multiply that by negative cos of x. And then for the second part, let's use a different color. I'm going to take the derivative of 2 sine x, and so that's going to be 2 cos x, and multiply that by sine of 2x, plus the derivative of sine of 2x is 2 cos 2x, and I'm going to multiply that by 2 sine x. So that's my second derivative all expanded, and it would be a good idea, I think, at this point to go through and simplify everything and see if we have any like terms that can be added together. I hope so. So we'll have 2 sine 2x, there's one, cos x, that'll add up with the one before it there, this one and this one will add up. And what do we have here? We have 4 sine x, oh good, cos 2x, and that one goes with that one, and so we can simplify. So let's simplify these. What do we have here? We have 1 sine x cos 2x and 4 sine x cos 2x, so that's 5 of those. And then what do we have? 2 sine 2x cos x and 2 sine 2x cos x, so there's 4 of those. And so there's your double derivative. Okay? I'll make you another video for the other question because this one's already pretty long.